Welcome to the Repositioning podcast, and I'm just Antoine, and I have Casselyn, D. Casselyn
Sanford.
Sanford,
I'm
and we're excited to have you today.
excited to be here. Thank you.
Truly, it's been a blessing just to get to know you, and we've been talking for a minute
But yeah.
here. Just
Now the nerves is caught,
right. But we're excited about what you got going on,
Thank you.
and we would love to share with the audience some of the things that you're doing
Okay.
and what your goals are in the future.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so, if there's anything that we can do to assist you in getting that information out, we want to definitely do that
Well,
and put you in a better position.
well, thank you. This right here is a start, and I appreciate it. Exposure. You can never do anything, do wrong with exposure. So thank
Yes,
you. You
yes.
see.
And so, we've been conversing,
Mhm.
and tell me a little bit about the podcast that you would like to
Okay.
launch.
Well, I have a podcast called Fox Files: Cold and Unsolved, and what I do is I highlight cold cases here in Houston,
Okay.
Texas, and I also do the surrounding county of Harris as well. And what I do is I just go on to the HPT website and I just pick two cases because there's so many unsolved murders that are not just unsolved, they're cold, meaning that the box is closed, sealed, and put in room, and nobody's even interested in the case anymore. Nobody's even interested in finding out what happened because we got to move on. And I understand that, but these cases, even though they're in the closet, in the room, they're still not gone. They're just tucked off somewhere, and it's unfair to the family.
So nobody's working on them right now.
Nobody's working on them. Nobody is even like, okay, well, I give it to Courtney Fisher from ABC 13. She has teamed up with Unsolved Mysteries, Unsolved Murders, or something like that. And they are highlighting some of the cold cases,
Okay.
but the majority is caucus. You know what I mean? So they're not focused on everybody. They're
Okay.
focused on the ones they want to focus on. I'm focusing on everybody, because everybody matters.
Everybody matters. I like that. I
Mhm.
like that. So, what in your podcast? What are the things that you want to bring out about these cases?
Well, first and foremost, I want to bring out their name. We,
Okay.
we're doing that say their name thing now, right? So we need to say their names because these people, they didn't just die in their sleep; they were murdered. Somebody took them from their family. Somebody took them from their loved ones. So we need to start first addressing their names. Their names, like I have Kanisha Dixon, and I have Jose Aguilar. Those are two names that I have, but I also have unidentified as well. So I want to bring the resources that we use right now to find out where you come from. So you can spit on a sheet of paper and send it off, and they can tell you where your great great grandfather resided.
Right.
And you can't even tell me who these people are, or you might have some kind of evidence that you can't even open up and $2, $3. I don't know how much it costs. I know it's resources. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
It's about money. It's always about money. But you can figure out how and what happened. And let's close this case.
Okay. So you're saying with the recent the advancement of technology, we can use that to bring closure to the families.
And and
Um,
and and let these people, let the souls rest. We just, it's all about, like I call them, my beautiful souls. How can you sleep at night knowing that you are the cause of someone else's demise? You are the cause of torture to the child because this baby is sitting back probably wondering, or the daddy or the husband, like, I should have been there. I could have been there. And families lose family members behind this. Mothers, they die from grief. Fathers, they kill themselves because they feel like, I should have been there. And then the authorities aren't doing anything about it. Oh, we can't find the person, or we come to a dead end. We've come to a snag in the road, and then you just push them to the back. I don't want to be a box.
right.
I don't want my children to be a box. I don't want you to be a box. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And that's why I decided to do my podcast. This is the second go round. The first go round with my podcast, I was just, whatever story came to mind, I'm going to just talk about a story. But then I
Right.
didn't feel myself being structured.
Okay.
I felt like I needed a place to go with my podcast, because you will lose interest, you'll lose focus if you have nowhere to go.
Right.
And I sat back and I I started watching. I love court TV. I love
Okay.
court TV. So I'm looking at court TV and I'm looking at Cold Case Files, the TV show, and I'm really into it. And I said, let me Google Houston's cold cases. 200 and plus
Wow.
cold cases.
Wow.
People have
Just giving up.
just given up on them from the 70s, from the 60s. I mean, just giving up on them. Okay, granted, the people who was probably investigating the case might be retired, might be dead. A lot of leads might be dead, might be gone, but it's still worth a shot
Still
just to
worth a
get
shot.
it out the closet, off the shelf.
Right.
So,
Right. So, what is so your ultimate goal is to solve these cases?
no. I'm not an investigator. I'm
Okay.
not a crime solver. My ultimate goal is to bring awareness,
Okay.
to pull these names back out, to give the proper people, the proper authority, the proper resources, or whoever it is, acknowledgement of this. Okay, you know what? Let me go and check this case out. I'm hearing more and more about this case. Let me go and check this case out, just so you can go and pop the box. You never know what you're gonna find when you pop that box, because the
Right.
box has been sealed since 2000. The box has been sealed since '89. You don't know. Pop the
Right.
box.
Okay. So you want to bring exposure to the name or the number because
Yeah,
it's an
yeah.
incident sometimes, just an incident number, and you
Mhm.
want to bring that exposure so those that have
Can.
the investigation
Exactly.
background
And
can go
want to. You
and
know what
want
I'm
to.
saying?
Yes.
Hear me saying, oh, such and such happened on to such and such on such and such date. And then that investigator say, let me dig a little bit deeper. And maybe I can find a relative, or maybe I can find a classmate or old neighbor who stayed next door. It's a lot that can be done by people who can do it.
Right.
I'm just a voice. I
Okay.
want to be the voice. I want to be the introducing voice. Here's a possibility, you know what I'm saying? And then
Right.
and then we go from there. But and if I can be absolute in helping close the investigation, then yes, I'll do what I have to do to help close the investigation,
Okay.
because I do want these cases to be reopened and closed, no longer to be cold.
Okay.
I want to open them up and close them.
Well, with technology nowadays, the world is so small, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we can reach everybody with just a simple podcast like this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm super excited about your
Thank you.
podcast,
Thank you.
and truly it can make a difference, and I believe it will.
I hope so.
And I have a security background, and so I know something about the investigation. So I would love to be a guest on your podcast
Well, hey,
as
hey,
well.
hey.
And and maybe we can bring some things together to help
Seriously.
solve these cases.
Seriously, because some of these cases that I have, like I have 4 right here. One of the young ladies, she was murdered in her apartment.
Oh,
20 years old. Well, I'm not gonna say 20. It was May of 2000, and she looks to be 20, my age at that time.
Uh-huh.
But the investigators say that the roommate gave you a gun because you were in fear for your life. You had just moved into this apartment, blah blah blah. But who were you in fear for your life from? Somebody knows something. Somebody knows something, because your roommate had to give you a gun in order to answer the front door. You answer the door, and then boom, you get shot. And that's it. That's not it.
Right.
That's not it.
There's more information.
That can't be it. You know what I'm saying? That
Right.
cannot. This is all they got. This is it. And then you got Jose, who went to work, and somebody came up in his job, killed him, took his vehicle, and that's it. That's it.
That's all we know.
That's it. And it's like, where's the truck? Because he had a truck. They say they didn't see his truck when they got to work. So where's the truck? The location of it was back in '89 off of Highway 90 in Wayside. Mesa was like industrial. Nothing
Right.
but truck stops, halfway houses, warehouses, all that. So when I first read the story, I was like, oh, it's a truck driver. Easy, because but the truck missing. So the truck driver don't need no truck. So who didn't check in at the halfway house that night? did somebody ride in with a truck driver and he just robbed a man? And where is this man's vehicle? It's things that you can be doing.
Right.
Pop from top.
So was it an 18-wheeler that
We
was
don't
taken?
know. No, it was his regular truck, pickup truck. His truck.
Okay.
His personal truck was missing.
Okay.
Where is it? I know 89, they don't have what we have now. But you can find out where is it. You know what I mean? It's and he didn't deserve that. Like one of the young ladies who's unidentified, her body was found underneath the freeway, 45, like Fifth Ward area, under the freeway, just laid sprawled out, naked. Yes. Another lady, unidentified Hispanic female, found in front of a bank, thrown in the bushes, naked. And come on, that cannot be the end of it. And that's my point. We get these cases, we get these murders, and then we just toss them like they're just nothing.
Well, I see the passion that you have for these lost souls, and you call them
beautiful souls.
Beautiful souls.
My beautiful souls.
Beautiful souls. And whatever we can do to assist you,
please,
in getting this word out, because it matters.
It does.
And they still have family members that want to have closure as well, as them themselves. I know you believe in the spiritual world and things of that nature. And so, whatever we can do and the resources that we have at our hands, we want to definitely lend.
Let's go to work.
And there is a work to do.
Yeah.
And like we talked about, that there are so many other things that it will lend to, because things are happening every day in our communities and we are not aware of what's going on. And the information that we can put out there, like from your podcast and this podcast, can really help people just prepare and make sure that some of these things, it don't happen to our kids.
Yes, exactly.
And it don't happen to our
family members or our friends and their family.
Right. And so bringing awareness of what's going on and how we can prevent it from happening to us, then we can do something about that.
Yes, we can. We
can cause a change.
I agree. But we have to, first things first, we have to make a first step. And to me, the first step is actually saying their names.
Yes.
Let's say their names.
I love it. One of the quotes that I read recently, it said that you will never make 1,000 steps if you don't take the first step.
How you gonna make a 2 step? You ain't take one.
You got to take.
You got to take it. Yes, and I agree.
That's saying the name.
That's saying the name.
Let
us saying the name, and then once we say the name or incident number, because some of them are unidentified.
Yes.
But let's call them out. Let's get them back. Get some knowledge to them, and hopefully get their cases closed and solved. And you did it. You got to do. You got to. Was it pay the cost to be the boss? Yeah. It is what it is. You did it. You got to go.
Right.
So it's not on me, but you did it. That person is dead. Family members are gone. Families are grieving. Parents don't have closure. Kids don't have closure. You never know. This ladies might have had young kids, and the young kids might be wild now because their mama was taken from them for whatever reason, or their daddy was taken from them for whatever reason.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're excited about
I'm excited too. I thank you.
We're going to wrap it up right there on that part.
Okay.
And I know that you have some other things that you would like to share with us.
Jack of all trades here.
We're excited about that.
Okay, cool.
So welcome back, and I wanted to ask you about your writing. I know you've been writing for some time now.
20 years.
20 years. Wow. So you didn't put some hours in?
Yeah, I put my work in. I have put my work in.
And so where do you want to take your writing?
Well, I want to. Uh, I have my own database of writing. I write all genres: horror, comedy, action. It doesn't matter. So I want production companies. I want directors. I want agents to come to my website whenever I get it up and running, and purchase writing materials from me, or contact me because they want me to write something for them, or in that nature.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I love ghostwriting. I love writing from my own imagination, of course, but I love for somebody to challenge me with giving me something that's on their mind and say, "Hey, I got an idea. I need this to be a movie. I need it to be a book."
Okay.
And then that gives me a challenge because it takes me out of my everyday thinking of writing
Uh-huh.
and put me in a place to where I will have to use my inner imagination.
So you want to be someone who
Hmm.
they have a story, they have a concept, and they just need you to show up and write it
Yep,
for
I
them
love that. The
and
Who. Hmm.
and bring it to pass for them,
Yes,
right?
that's what I want. That has been my goal and my dream for, I'm going to say, about 8 years, because I have the database that I have now of complete work is nice. You know, I
Okay.
have like several screenplays already done, two television pilots plus episodes, uh, 2 3 books. I mean, I have what you need, and I have it already. So I want, but first I need my exposure, and I want to be able to let people know that um, writing is not just a craft. You know, to me, writing is. I got it in my book. Hold on,
Go ahead.
it's my quote in the my latest book, Adult Man's Dream.
A dope man's dream. I
But
like
my from the author says story creating is just not an art or a craft. It's an expression of your soul. That's a quote from me.
it. Okay.
And I say that because if you genuinely write, you're going to write from within. You're not just going to off the top of your head and just go to work. Some people can. And I haven't met anyone that can yet. And I know a lot of people that write, and myself as well. So that's why I like to write. I hand write first so I can see what I'm writing. I can write what I'm writing, and then I type.
Okay.
When I type, that's when I get out of the soul and I get into my head. I write what's in my heart and what's on my body to write, and then I type it up. And sometimes when I write it, words might be jumbled. It might be ebonic for me, but it's gonna come out when I type it properly and correct. So
So
that's why.
you're more in your flow
Hmm.
when you're writing
When
with
I
your
write, oh
hands.
my goodness, when I'm writing with my hand, people just sit back and look at me like, "Girl, how can you just go?" And I just be going because it comes to me. It comes to me like a TV show. It comes to me like a movie. It comes to me. And when it comes to me, I just let it go, let it flow. And like this one, Adult Man's Dream, as a matter of fact, second book.
That's your second
It's
book.
my second book, yes.
Okay.
Adult Man's Dream was a dream I had. And I woke up, I was like, oh, I got to put this pen to paper. But it was a couple years ago when I had the dream, and I kept saying, oh, girl, write that book, write that book. So I entered a 30-day writing challenge last year.
Okay.
30 days. I wrote that book in 30 days.
Wow.
And I
Wow.
self-published and everything. So far, I have sold like 56 copies of this book here,
Okay.
Dope Man's Dream. The first book is Whichever Way Is Up. And I might have sold like 30 something copies of that one. I didn't promote that one and push that one as much as I did this one because I like this one.
Okay.
I love the first one, don't get me wrong, but I really like this one.
Well, tell us a little bit about
Okay, well, A Dope
the book
Man's
here.
Dream is about a guy named Roger who is like the top drug dealer here in Houston. He cannot be touched. No one can rob him. It's like he is untouchable, and he is like, but he doesn't realize that all along it's his wife pulling all the strings. If they like the streets find out something about to happen to him, they run to her, hey, look, this is about to happen, and she stops it. He gets robbed. She let him get robbed. Go ahead, because he's doing too much. Let him get robbed. But she in turns sells it back to him, but he think he's hitting a lick, but he's really getting his own stuff back
Right.
because she's just trying to keep him on the line and keep him in check as far as running her business. that he think is his business. But she ended up getting caught up in her own situations that she got going on the side. And that's how he had to find out that everything he was about was just nothing. You are literally nothing. But she's your dream though, because she keeps you alive. She keeps your money flowing. She keeps the business going, even though you don't know what she has to do.
Wow.
And she has to go through some situations in
So
order
she
to keep him out of jail, in order to keep him from, she does a lot to keep him afloat.
okay, so she's really running things, but allowing him to think that he
He's the
is.
boss. Yeah, she let him think that he's the boss. He think he got it like that. He's like, my ace, but the ace is who she hired to be your ace, so everything is reported back to her no matter what.
Wow.
And but she gets herself caught up, and now she has to face her own situation, charges and everything, while explaining to him, look, I did this out of love. Now he's all like, wait a minute, tell me about that one time. So she's like, I can't keep going over this. It's you
Wow.
gotta read it. A
Wow.
really good read. A really
Yes,
good read. And I
yes.
hand make it. I self-publish, so I hand make the book, hand make the covers, I print everything out.
Awesome.
Yeah, everything is done by me.
All right. Well, definitely let us know, and I can be the next one that purchases your
Please,
book
please, please.
and check it out.
Hmm.
And we're going to allow our audience as well to have an opportunity to.
Yes, please,
So
please.
we'll put it
Bring
on.
it back up.
Yes,
A
Adult Man's Dream, and we're going to leave some information down in the comments so that they can get a copy of those and know how to get a
Pick it
copy
up.
and definitely get in touch with you.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that. Now, tell me about your publishing company production company. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I have both. They're both the same entities. I would say the production company is where my database of all my writings will be.
Okay.
But the publishing house is the Writers Corner Publishing House, and that is my publishing company. I am, like I say, now I'm self-publishing, but I'm getting ready to publish a children's book written by one of my children, of course.
Okay.
But it's a children's book that will be published under the Writers Corner Publishing House, and I just want to give my people the opportunity to get their work published without having to pay thousands and thousands of dollars. You know, of course, you got to pay for your work. You're gonna have to pay for it. It doesn't
Right.
matter, no matter what. But it's ways to get around it and stuff, instead of having to go to a publishing house that you don't even know. They don't even know you. They don't have any kind of rapport. I want to build that relationship with my author, so we can sit down and talk one-on-one, face-to-face, like you're doing. Tell me what your goal is. Where do you see your book going? Do you have any future plans for it? And then we'll go from there. I wanted to be on a personal basis
Yes.
with all of my authors, because I want them to give them an opportunity to maybe sell your manuscript. It could always be put as a movie or a television show. I mean,
Yes.
or maybe if you want to go to another publishing house, I can help you get your material ready for that publishing house. If you want someone that's going to do all the work. Now, I don't do any marketing.
Okay.
I don't market, but I will do everything else. It's on you to get your product out there, but you will have product to get out there,
Right.
and money worthy, product. So that's pretty much my goal, and I'm looking for all ages. I don't care how old you are. I thought he was waving at me. I don't care how old you are, all ages. It doesn't matter. Like I say, my daughter wrote a book. She wants to get it out there. I'm trying to encourage my children to do this, because we're a team.
Right.
How can we do this if I'm the only one working?
Right, right. And so I know that right now a lot of people are going into the space of coaching and making products um, that that can go on for sale, coaching programs and things of that nature. So is that something that you would be interested in helping? Like for instance, myself, I'm in a process of making a mastermind course, building my mastermind course, and we're going through the first stages of it right now. And to be able to put that in a publishing thing so that I can put it in the book, I want it definitely soft copy. But do you help with things like that?
Now, what I do help with is just getting your written content right now. I can.
Okay.
I love a challenge, so it's nothing I won't try. But right now, I just want to help right now, just focusing on getting the written content together, and then we'll take that next step. But I have several binding styles.
Okay.
I bind spiral and I bind thermal, so
Okay.
I can do publications that way. Is that what you're talking about?
So you're mostly for books. For
Well, that's my start.
That's your start.
That's my start. That's the
Okay.
premise.
Okay.
And then once my foundation is built, then I will build around it.
Okay. Because we're trying. I'm trying to go into more of the digital space,
Mhm.
and really get things, because I know a lot of things are published online now, right? And you can download the books and things of that nature.
And I want to take it back to uh see, we lose touch with oneself, and we lose touch with the way the world is going right now. And when I had a pop-up shop a couple weekends ago with my football team, I stole my book. And the lady was like, "Oh my God, I haven't had a book in so long because I've been on this Kindle. I've been on my e-read." I'm like, no, let's get
Right.
back to familiarizing ourselves with people, because
Right.
when you locked in on your book, you locked in on your computer. You're not locked in. You don't feel the person. You don't, as you flip the pages. There's something about that, flip the page thing
Right.
that you
Right.
feel, and then you got your bookmark and you place your place. I think, yeah, I understand the way the world is going, but I think we need to at least take it back to paper publication.
Well, and I do agree. There's something about that hardback book when you're turning those pages and you're able to highlight
Mm-hmm.
with a highlighter, right? Instead
Make
of just,
circles. Exactly.
and then you can write in the margins. Of
Yes.
course, you can do that digitally as well, but it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Mm-mm.
And so I'm in agreements with that, and agreements with that. And so yeah, we sometimes the technology has taken us away from just that down home,
Bookstores are obsolete now.
They
You used to
really
see
are
bookstores and libraries everywhere.
everywhere.
Nowhere now. If your library doesn't have a computer in it, I don't want to go in it. That's crazy.
Right.
I'm gonna walk past all these books to get online to read this book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense? But that's the way the world wants you to be. They want everybody to be programmed a certain way, and it's sad.
Yes, and so sometimes we lose the genuineness of
We lose affection.
affection.
That's why we don't have compassion anymore, because we no longer engage.
Right.
It's computer. It's no feelings. There's no emotion when it comes to the computer. So I don't have to know how it feels to emote. I don't want to feel. I don't have to feel. I'm gonna get into my computer and get stuck instead of sitting out here like we're having a genuine conversation.
Right.
Nobody wants to do that anymore.
It's the smartphones has made us dumb.
Made us dumb. The smartphones have made us dumb. Isn't it something?
Wow.
Yep. And I like the genuineness of it. I love communication. I love connection.
Yes.
And that's how we're going to get ourselves back on track with the world anyway. Once we get back connected, we can no longer sit in a room. Like I'm looking at somebody's video on Facebook, of course, and they're at like a sports event, like a football game. He's recording his two homeboys on their phones. Now, how you at a football game? A professional football game, mind you.
Yes.
Well, you pay money to get into. You paying $90 for a beer, $70 for a pocket popcorn, but you're on your phone because you're no longer engaged. But if you were at home watching the game on TV, you'd have been zoned in, connected. You wouldn't have been able to take me away from the TV. But you're actually in there, in live, in person, and you can't even focus on the game because you are that disengaged.
Yes.
Distracted.
Well, we're going to take another break, and I'm loving the information that we're gathering from
D. Castellan.
Sanford.
And
we'll be right back.
All right, thank you.
Hi, we want to welcome you to JW's Place, Soul Food and Barbecue. Look, some of the best barbecue in town. I make the sauce myself, y'all. It's from scratch. You ain't gonna get it from nowhere else. Ribs, pulled pork. We got it down here. Fried chicken, whole smoked chickens. We got everything you want. Listen, we ain't got to drive through. So you ain't even got to get out your car. We'll come to you anywhere you are. Okay, listen, come down to JW's place at 28533 Spring Trails Ridge here in Spring, Texas, 77386. Look, we are ready to serve you here. It is our pleasure at JW's place, JW's Soul Food and Barbecue. Come on, get your barbecue. Get your, and while you're here, look here, I'll throw you a wing on fire. Just like that. JW's place, Soul Food and Barbecue.
Welcome back to the Repositioning podcast. I'm just Antoine, and I got DeCaslin Sanford with me, and we are having a wonderful conversation. And so with the Repositioning podcast, we want to know where you want to go, and then be able to give you some suggestions on how possibly to get there.
Okay. Well, where I see myself as far as the podcast, like I said earlier, I would love the repositioning program to help me get exposure as far as getting me out there, like letting people see when I do my podcast, if we can like regenerate it and then we can probably get feedback. I would like people to talk to me and tell me what, how they feel about the content of the podcast.
Okay.
And you guys can help with that, right?
Yes, definitely. So one of the things that we want to be able to put some segments in there, okay, where we bring in maybe family members if we have names, or bring some experts in that can talk about those type of things.
Oh my gosh.
Those type of things to assist you in saying, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
How we can, possibly find cars. I know you spoke.
Yeah, his truck.
His
Yeah.
truck was missing, and things of that nature, and maybe find a VIN number of that truck and have it come up, because you have you have to get it inspected and things of that nature. And so that's in the database. And so there are things that we can do and put in play and get exposure. So we can reach out to some of the experts to find out information.
Yes.
And so those type of things that you rarely don't think about, that others can bring in and say, hey, we can do that. And so that's one of the great things about the repositioning, and just giving you ideas. That's where my gifting falls in, where I can think outside the box and give you ideas that you can use. And then with the resources that we have, I just partner up with, I'm a part of Black Wall Street Nation, and we just partnered up with Black Wall Street New Generation. And so we're bringing exposure to Black entrepreneurs and wanting to help one another grow our business. And so when I look at Dick Caslin, I'm not just seeing you, but I'm seeing your children. I'm seeing your community. And if I can help you and build your business, I can also help your kids
and the community.
Ultimately,
I love that.
And then we just all rise together. And so we're super excited about what you're doing. We're going to stay in contact.
Please,
I know we're going to be working together and some things as well. And so we're looking forward to you. I'm glad that you were able to come in and bring some exposure and light to the beautiful souls.
My beautiful souls. Yes.
And so we're definitely going to help you push this out.
Yes.
All right.
That's what I would love. I would love for this to be pushed out, and if there's anyone that has anyone that they know of who has been murdered, and the case has been closed, not closed, cold, not something that is being investigated right now. I want it to be cold, like they no longer even want to touch it. Talk to me. Yes. Let's say their name.
Let's say
Let's
that
get their
name.
name out there. Let's get their exposure, because that way we can actually maybe start seeing peace on earth. You
Yes.
never know.
And it can make a difference.
Hmm.
And we want to make a difference. Everything that we do. And there's a reason why you have a passion for that. And what we try to do is help people to go after their passion.
Okay.
And so when you work in your passion, you never work a day
You
in your
never work
life.
a day because you're doing what you want to do.
You're doing what you want to do.
You're doing what you want to do.
So
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure to have
Hmm.
you on our show
Thank
today
you. Thank
and our
you.
podcast, and we're headed in the right direction.
Yes, I agree. And it's been a delight. I can't I'm excited for you. Like the Black Wall Street enterprise that you're doing. I know several people who this will benefit. And I'm not saying writers. I mean, I know several people who have their own businesses, and they could actually use some good exposure, positive exposure to the community exposure,
Yes.
and I'm definitely going to be on the phone. Look,
Well, we appreciate it,
yeah.
and because we're on the rise together, and we're on a mission, and a lot of our whys line up.
Hmm.
And if we can come together on one accord and stop fighting each other and having that crab mentality, there's enough to go around.
But it starts. We got to start somewhere.
We got to start
So
somewhere.
maybe once society sees that we can actually work together,
Yes.
maybe then they'll be like, you know what, we can actually work together, and then we'll work together.
Yes.
But
Yes. And we do have the boss meeting. I do a boss meeting every morning, Monday through Friday, from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m.
okay.
And we encourage one another. We're reading books together. Right now, we're reading Who Not How by Dan Sullivan, and it's a beautiful book. We read Dennis P. Kimbrough's Dr. Dennis P. Kimbrough, his What Makes a Great Great. And so we got some other books that we're reading, and it's just blowing our mind, and we're just expanding, and we're helping one another. We're getting exposure. It's just a beautiful community that
Yeah.
we're building, and so helping one another go to that next level. So
And
we're
you
excited
don't
about
realize, a lot of people think that they can do it on their own. I said it. I've said it. Oh, girl, you want to make a movie? All you gotta do is write it. You can do the rest on your own. But then, do I have a movie? Have you
Right.
seen my movie?
No, I haven't
No, you
seen
have
it
not
yet.
seen my movie. Because I cannot do it on my
You
own.
can't do it on your
It
own.
takes a village. It takes a team. It takes family. It takes community. It takes like-minded people.
Yes.
It takes uh, like-minded people.
Yes.
That right there sums it up. Because if you thinking like trash, then I'm gonna be thinking like trash too.
Right.
And I won't think like trash.
That's right. That's
Mhm,
right.
mhm.
Well,
So,
it's been a pleasure,
Mhm.
and we're excited about helping you. And we'll see you at the top. Bye for now.
bye.